pretty intrigued by this Sora kid.
Are you telling me you're not Larkseed?
Haven't decided yet. I think what intrigues me more is what you've seen him.
There was a time he became a Heartless. And if one becomes a Heartless...
They lose their minds and their feelings. They're consumed by the darkness.
Right, but not Sora. He held on to his feelings even as a Heartless. And there's only one other man who's been able to do just that.
You. No. Who is Axel referring to there? Roxas?
No.
Roxas didn't exist yet, not really. Well, technically he did. This is obviously after Sora turned into the Heartless, so ordinarily, whatever I'm thinking of, Roxas had appeared in front of the mansion in Twilight Time by this point. So I definitely believe that when he said you look like him, he's referring to Roxas by this point. And some people say no, he's talking about Ventus, and I think it could go either way. You believe he's talking about Ventus?
Could be either one. Could be either one of them.
I'm going to go with you. Wondering to himself, much like Axel did earlier, about what makes himself special. Because even though that hasn't been expounded on that well, after the experiment happened that caused them to lose their physical bodies, the 6 apprentices, him, they became nobodies. As far as we can tell, the other 5 guys just became regular Heartless. Sora might have killed them as far as we can tell. I know some other fans might not like that, but all the information says so far that Ansem, Xehanort's Heartless was the only one that was special in any way.
That's right! He used to give you that same exact look.
Ventus.
I guess you think you can psych me out by saying really random stuff.
Yeah.
Gee, I just don't know.
It just gets quiet, like dun dun dun.
Be a good boy now.
And it's fun the first time you play Kingdom Hearts 2, because you don't really know who any of these guys are, and then you go back on it a second time, and then like, oh, I see his tendencies there.
Stop freaking me out like this. Huh? Where did you come from?
You do not yet know what lies beyond the door.
So you're from another world.
There is so very much to learn. You understand so little.
Oh yeah? Well, you'll see. I'm gonna get out and learn what's out there.
Meaningless effort.
You suck.
One who knows nothing can understand nothing.
Stay here, little boy.
That's my favorite line. I don't know why. One who knows nothing can understand nothing. I'm
But
gonna
who
use that
likes
on
Billy
some
Zane
people.
more than his follow-up?
Yeah.
But it's still, we got a serious question behind this. You'll hear it, you know? It's going to take a lot of thought. I played this game right after Chain of Memories, so this was especially special for me.
A far-off memory that's like a scattered dream. I want to line the pieces up. Yours and mine.
That's my question. Is it a great intro, or is it the greatest intro ever?
Greatest intro ever!
Yes. Take a cookie.
It is the best intro in a video game. Just saying that. Definitely.
You know, I'm a nobody. I can't eat, you know?
With this quote and a lot of things that happen in the game, I have a question, and it's kind of like a theory, but the whole idea of key blades having a base to them, like either an element or something, brings up the question of swords. In Birth by Sleep, most of the characters only have one base keyblade, and Sora has so many. Meanwhile, Riku and everybody else still only has one, and when Kairi gets one, she only has one. Yeah. So that brings up the question, does Sora have the key?
That's so fun, it's getting loud, children.
Does Sora have Keyblade base of the creator? Like
the creator of what? The Keyblades?
Like he's the creator, like the ability of his creator, because that allows us to explain a whole bunch of stuff in the whole storyline.
As I understand it, Sora and many others are Keyblade masters. And the big difference with that is that they can summon the Keyblade from nothing, or if someone tries to take it from them. As opposed to Kyrie, who doesn't seem to be one, and who's the other one? King Mickey, he seems to be one, but in the earlier game, in Birth by Sleep, he's not a Keyblade master yet. So even though it's kind of a weird contradiction, because you could help me out with this, does he summon the Keyblade from nowhere, or does he just pull it out in that game? He did summon it. Okay, so maybe that distinction isn't. That was what someone suggested to me. The big difference.
You're dodging my question. The idea that Sora could have the Keyblade, the creative Keyblade, and that's the reason they set around him so much. And that the reason it comes into existence is because Xehanort gets the Destruction Keyblade.
You mean the X-Blade? Or, well, it's not really pronounced like that?
Well, it's
kind of
Keyblade. Yeah,
it would kind of be like the whole Harry Potter thing with the sister wands.
Which has been kept throughout all
daughter wands, whatever the hell they are. Twin wands, I don't really care.
In the case of Sora, you're talking about the Keyblade? I don't know. The Keyblade is odd, so let's have someone else talk about it.
No, it would be like the wands kind of contradicting him.
Everybody,
evil
I mean, I know it's the first game.
Sora's Keyblade and Sense's Keyblade.
About Kingdom Key. It's Kingdom Hearts. So you could be right about that.
Yeah.
I mean, that it's
because think about it, just a couple of follow-up points. When they want to go on an adventure, what happens? Things happen and people appear. And Sora's like, I want to go on an adventure. They go on an adventure because events happen. Sora wants to protect Kyrie. Kyrie gets a Keyblade. He wants to save Kyrie. It just, everything that Sora goes through his mind and the memory and everything just supports that Sora's got more power than he even realizes. And if they do make another game, they gotta eventually address that. In either limiting it or showing that he's got all the power.
Sora is different. Because, you know, and his allies, you know, I guess you could say it's similar, like, I don't know, the only thing that's coming to mind right now is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The Slayers usually don't last too long because they don't really have friends who keep them inside the world and, like, want them to, so they'll eventually get tired of fighting evil. And maybe that's kind of been off and on, you know, you had a lot of wielders of Keyblades and maybe they didn't have enough ties to the world, so Sora, it's his friends that prop him up, you know? It's all speculative though, so it's fun to talk about. But I do know one thing, like Mickey's gold Keyblade is the key of the realm of darkness and stuff like that. And that's used specifically to seal Kingdom Hearts from the other side. And again, like you said, the Kingdom Key. So there's... They don't talk about it enough. I'll go with you on that. Yeah. We can agree on that?
Yeah. Basically, like you said, with Mickey,
I made my point.
the only speculation of Sora's key is an actual light version. Because the color side palette on it is swapped, where the Mickey is silver and gray is gold, where the light version on Sora.
It could be going for a whole Genie of the Lamp thing now that I think about it. You know, it's pretty utilitarian looking. You know, it doesn't look like it would be special in any way. So maybe people would discard it or think like, oh, this thing looks stupid, kind of like a lot of the critics did early on. It's like a key for a weapon. Back there we had, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying that the way that he pointed out the Keyblades earlier and how he was saying that they can kind of pair each other in a way could really open up more story to the unknown Keyblade Wars that we didn't really know about, and how we can really get to know about the creations of them and what they're used for and why.
I think the only thing we know for sure about the Keyblade War is that either almost anybody could wield a Keyblade, or it wasn't very hard to, as you can see from the rows of Keyblades. And again, that might tie back to Master Xehanort again, because Terra and the other knights, they cannot lift the Keyblades and manipulate that, where Master Xehanort can. So, is it just because he has telekinetic powers? I don't think so, because in the middle...